Hello, everybody. It's time for another episode of Grant Draws. I'm glad I see lots of people chatting in the chat here. I was worried because the we didn't have a behind the code episode that we would be missing people. I think this is about how many we usually get. We might get a few more, but we're doing a little bit different format tonight. I do want to mention that I have a Kickstarter out. So I was hoping to be halfway by tonight, and we're just a little bit under halfway. So don't believe me, I'm not worried yet. Uh, but we still have 35 days to go. We have plenty of time to get that other 1,600. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the first issue, this is the second issue. But if you missed the first issue, don't worry. You can get a copy of that too. Uh, yeah, League of Cryptids is a fun little comic book. It's action packed. Basically, the concept is a superhero team, but with the five most popular or famous cryptids. So, yeah, uh, I would encourage all of you guys to check it out if you guys have the time. Now I'm going to go through your comments relatively quickly. Dan and Carl saying good evening, then the lovely Donna and the lovely Trey. Hopefully, Carl and Dan won't get mad because I didn't call them lovely. But Carl is saying, fancy seeing all of you here. Dan is saying that he thinks that today's carpentry was pretty successful. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Is that pergola? I don't know what that means. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me. He said he made a level floor for some cabinetry, which Carl thinks is pretty nice. Dan says it was painstaking to get right, and that tomorrow is a shopping day for Lindsay, so we'll be heading for a couple of stores in the next county. Dan says showtime. And Donna is reminding us all to like and share. I think that is pretty good advice. And Vagabond Alan is saying hello, all. I wonder if that's the Alan that we have on the show tonight. I don't know. And Badana's greeting Vagabond Alan. And I think he's correcting my pronunciation. So let's get Alan out here so he can. All right, Alan, how's it going? So apparently my pronunciation was wrong. How do you pronounce it?
Well, I've always heard pergola.
Pergola.
Pergola, yeah, like kind of like a percolator. You know.
So what is?
That's kind of aging me, isn't it? So,
yeah. What is pergola?
Pergola is it's a type of it's kind of similar in the vein to a gazebo. It's the classic, usually like square frame kind of structure that has the slats on the top, so it lets the sun through and creates a little bit of shade certain times a day. We have one out in our backyard deck, so it's a popular deck kind of treatment that's been going trendy in the last few years.
I must be out of it.
Yeah, it's a newer kind of thing. I'm sure you've seen them and just didn't really realize that was the term for it. And traditional like vine, like I know grapevines can sometimes be wrapped around pergolas in like Greece and Italy and stuff like that. So I think they're a Mediterranean kind of structure that became popular, here in the States because that's what we do. So
that is what we do.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have you on the show because you actually have about 24 hours left in your Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think it's rounding down because we just cleared the 8 o'clock hour, so technically it's like 24 hours and 55 minutes. But yeah, it's coming down to the wire, and it is farther along than my last project with less backers. So thank you to all the generous backers that have supported it. And it's really close, and I'd really love to make it this time. Get this thing launched and start connecting with fans, and getting and building out the 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 support base for the complete miniseries. So
Do you want me to play the trailer? Is it
yeah,
a long
sure. If it'll
trailer?
play well, yeah, go for it.
Is it a long trailer?
No, it's a short one. I got it down to I think a minute and a half now, or
Cool.
thereabouts.
Let's play it.
All right, there you go, minute and a half. There you go. This is going to be surreal here.
Hi, my name is Alan Forbes, founder of Vagabond Creative Entertainment, a lifelong dream on the verge of reality, and it starts with this one guy. Rick Kelly is Red Cat, a run-of-the-mill crime fighter. He has a city to protect, a day job to juggle, an arch nemesis to track down, and only some of this is true. Red Cat's celebrity status is a 4-issue miniseries that introduces readers to the Vagabond universe. Issue 1 tells of Rick's latest encounter with blood rivals. Or is it? Finding out the truth alongside our hero is only the beginning. If you like fun, lighthearted, action-packed adventures with a touch of mystery and suspense, then this is for you. Won't you join the journey?
Same hat. And that's it.
Cool, 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 cool.
My little engine that could.
Yeah, so we wanted to get you on the show just because you've only got 24 hours to go. You still have a little ways to go. So, I mean, if you guys don't have the money to splurge on this, please, please, please share it, because, like we said, it's down to the last 24 hours.
And that's
And I
how we
would
beat
like-
the algorithm.
Yeah, I would like to see this get funded.
It would be nice. Be exciting. Been working on this one for a long time.
Yeah, we so so for those of you who don't remember, I had Alan on. We had a 2-part episode where you discussed your process for doing this. What's the name of is it Poser that you use?
Yeah, Poster's the application. It is a 3D kind of compositing application. It can do some animations used by artists for stills and animations. It started out as it was a digital version of a traditional artist mannequin. So if you think back to the classic wooden mannequin a lot of artists used to, pose and things like that, it was called Poser for that reason. It was created by Fractal Design, or it was published by Fractal Design. Um, and it was originally just like you had a figure in an empty space that you could light with up to 3 lights and kind of get a sense of how the figure would pose and bend and shape, and it was an artist tool, and it eventually grew and expanded its capabilities to now it's a fairly robust uh, art generation tool. the I like to compare the process I use to creating a TV show in a way, because it's like I have to cast. I find some preset, pre-made human forms, and then I change their look to create the custom look of each character. I then costume them with some customization. So like the mask that he ends up with, that's like here, for example, this is the kind of modern
Yeah.
mask that is a complete original model that I created for that. Uh, Customize some of the other elements, like his vest is got a custom pattern on it, stuff like that. And once I created my cast, then I have to kind of like, it's like scout locations. I have to decide what scenes I'm going to put them in, and I have to position them in the scenes. I decide how I light it, so that's lighting, cinematography, how I shoot it, and then I build out the panels, and that's just the art side of it. Of course, I'm also writing it, and then I got to letter it once I assemble all the pieces into my layouts in Illustrator. So
Yeah.
so it's a somewhat involved process, but I kind of came across this years ago. I have done traditional hand drawing stuff, but this was Something that really interested me, and I like the consistency of the look. One of the cool things about working with stuff like this is that I can do more complex designs and deliver them constantly. Any artist who's drawn Spider-Man regularly will tell you how much of a pain it is to draw those webs, right? And so many
Right.
artists in the past would use cheats and stuff for that. So for me, it allows me to create, some kind of more complex designs, and then I stylize it a little bit. So it's, because the rendering is not quite so like high level, like Unreal or type level, or Maya, or Pixar
Right.
or Disney kind of level of stuff. So I use some stylizations to give it a little more of a hand drawn look to it, or a little more of a painterly look to it. And yeah,
Okay, so we don't want to get too in depth
right.
into
Because they
the
can always go
process.
and watch those episodes,
Right, exactly.
and see the
But
breakdown. Yeah.
we do have. It was a two-part episode where I interviewed Alan in depth about his process. Just go to my YouTube. I mean, after this show is over tonight,
Yeah.
you can
Don't leave.
go and search for those.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some more of the comments. Dawn is saying that she got behind in packing, so she's just here to say hi and bye, which is cool. Thank you for stopping by. Carl thinks the artwork looks good, and Donna is saying that she likes the trailer. So, like I said, thank you so much for being on the show, Alan. If any of you guys, like I said, please share and or go to. Oh, you know what? I never.
Here, I'll put the link in there.
Thank you.
I got it. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Over here, copy and paste. All right, there's the link to the. This comment has failed to pass to post
Yeah,
tweet.
I was gonna say I don't think
You
it'll
know what? I'll
go
put it in the private chat and you can share it. That should work.
exactly.
There you go.
I think you have to
I have to be special.
yeah, you have to get the wrench in order to but I found the link here.
Cool.
Oh, you put it in the private chat too.
Yep.
I'm putting that in there. I'm also need to put the I would like to put the the League of Cryptids link.
Yeah, you should put your project link in there so people can share that. I actually did a couple pieces of art for that. That was a lot of fun.
I remember that. Thank you for doing that.
I have the strip I did, the crossover between Jersey Devil and Red Cat. I'm still hoping to over time tackle the other three. I've got my 3D Mothman. I've got my 3D Jersey Devil. They were a little easier. Uh, Sasquatch is going to be probably the toughest one because of all that fur. Fur is one of
Oh,
those
that
things
for
that's
yeah.
a little challenging to do in some of the 3D programs. So
I
I got to
agree
dig
with
a little
that.
deep into that, figure that out.
But thank you so much for being on the show, Alan. And like I said, please everybody check out his Red Cat project. Um, but I don't want to go too far into talking about this because we have another guest on the
Yeah, we
show.
got another guest. Well, thanks again for having me on, and I'll hang out in the chat for a bit. So
Thanks, Alan. Have a great night.
you too. Take care.
So our second guest
Hello.
tonight is named Zach Lawrence. How's
Hi,
it going,
everybody.
man?
It's going well. My
So
first ever live stream interview, so I'm a little nervous, but I think I'll be okay.
I think you'll be okay too.
Nothing bad will
Our
happen,
chat
right?
is very easygoing, very non-threatening. I've never seen our chat cannibalize one of my guests, so I think we're good.
That's good. As long as there's no giant birds or nothing that's gonna, fly in and try to take me away or nothing crazy.
We haven't had that problem so far. A couple people saying hi in the chat, which is
Hi,
nice.
people.
Carl
Hello.
is saying that he'll be nice.
Nice.
So cool. Trey said that she will nibble. I don't. I don't. I don't know your marital status or anything, Zach. So I don't know. I know Trey is married, but I don't know if you're
Uh,
married.
I'm not married. I'm single at the moment.
So, okay. So explain to me who Boba. I mispronounced this earlier, didn't I?
Well, let's see. So Bobo is like a rabbit, and Popo is supposed to be a hamster, but people think he looks like a bear. But basically, they're like not. Those characters aren't even in that. I guess this is kind of like an old preview of what I'm working on that I kind of put up on a WordPress website, and I guess I should probably update it soon, but that's more focused on one of my other characters named Ninja Fox. But basically, it's hard to explain what Bobo and Popo is about because I guess for one thing, I'm still kind of working on like a 250 page long kind of kind of manga style, but it's not. It reads from left to right, not right to left, so it's not actually like full blown manga. But um, I guess like once that one volume is done, it might be easier to talk about it more generally. Um, but basically, it's kind of like bizarre cast of characters. Sometimes Ninja Fox he hunts down a syndicate, um, and he goes around, gets letters of help asking to you know save people from time to time, but he also has some bad blood with this syndicate, so they kind of trick him in this story, and I kind of use that as a preview. Um, Bobo's kind of somewhat of a sketchy moral. He has some interesting morals, I guess you could say. Popo's kind of like a foil to Bobo in a lot of ways. There's other characters too, um, but yeah,
Yeah. So I'm scrolling down through here, and it looks like you have a lot of work up here on this website.
yeah,
I mean, this is a pretty intricate story for you. I mean, you just put it up on the web.
yeah.
I mean, do you have plans to maybe turn this into a print comic book, or do you kind of like having it on the internet?
My plan is to have it as a print comic book. Um, I guess I kind of put it on the web to kind of show that preview. Um, but right now my plan is just to finish what I have. Have about maybe 84 pages left. It kind of got a little slow because I was using a really old tablet and I had to replace it with an iPad earlier this year. So I kind of resumed work.
So, what
Um,
program do you use to draw
Clip
this?
Studio.
Clip Studio. Okay, and you
Yeah.
can you do all the lettering on that as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I just download the fonts and then that font's like kind of the one I prefer.
Okay. So we have a few more messages in the chat. Donna is saying the cannibalization comes later. I think she's joking. At least I hope. The lovely Sarah is here to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for making it, Sarah. I wasn't sure if you'd be here because uh, the show that's on before this, uh, I'm kind of on after another show, so we get most of the audience from that show. But thank you everybody who came, and Donna saying hi, and Carlos saying hi, and Sarah's showing her black heart to everybody. But anyways, back to your story. So you do this all on your tablet.
Yeah. This one was on the old tablet that I had, and the ones I'm working on now are on the new one.
So what do you plan on doing with the new stuff when Is it going to go on the website as well, or are you going to maybe?
I'm gonna try to print it. I tried to do a Kickstarter last year, but I'd never done one before, so it didn't really work out. So I never really done like a really good successful. I don't even know what a successful Kickstarter would be like. But my plan is to have all of these first, I guess it's by about 17 chapters, kind of rolled into one nice manga size volume printed out.
This
Maybe
is
start a Kickstarter, but at least make some copies, print them out, and then just work on volume two. I already have some outlines for volume two and volume three right now.
so this is what the first 8 or 9 chapters.
That would be it. That right there would be chapters 5 through 8. Yeah.
Five
So
through eight. Okay. And and how long did you say you wanted it to be?
right now, well, so far I have about 100+ pages done. I should have probably in the end probably about 240. Um, but yeah,
So this is
I'll
quite an
probably get.
undertaking. This is quite an undertaking that you've taken on.
It is quite an undertaking. What's even more undertaking about this undertaking is I envision it to be a 35 volume piece because I'm that crazy.
And
So
what chapter are you up to?
right now I'm working on chapter 11, and I should be working on chapter 12. Um, I guess for now, I guess this site's kind of a good site to kind of show off what I've done so far. But I also have an Instagram I post to on time to time with updates. But yeah, I guess right now between now and the end of the year, it's kind of like pushing 84 pages through, getting it done, putting it all together, making a print copy, selling it online, maybe make a Kickstarter for it so I could sell more. But yeah, that's the immediate plan for volume one right now.
And so you're okay. So you're gonna release this all as one big volume, or are you gonna do it
Yeah,
like chapter by chapter?
probably one big volume. I'm gonna try to do volume by volume.
Yeah, like I said, that's very ambitious. So
I know.
uh, good luck.
Thank you.
Um, Sarah is saying that she's sick again. Uh, she says, "Wow, nicely done, very professional quality." She said that she thinks it looks great. So
Oh, thank you.
apparently, you have a fan. Alan is
Awesome.
saying that duty calls. I don't know if that means if his wife is telling him to do something or if he has to go to the bathroom or what. But he said, catch you later. Sarah says, manga volumes go into the high numbers. Some of them are so crazy I could build a fort around everyone in the group against a tornado with them. It's mind boggling, but impressed.
Yeah.
So what
Thank
so what got you into uh, manga?
I guess I could say, so I got into anime manga when I was just a kid. So I'd say I was like 8, 9 years old. I started drawing when I was around 8 or 9 years old, and um, pretty much most, if I could say, all of the main characters here are characters that I created about 20 years ago. Um, in middle school, that was when I made the first original Bobo and Popo comics. They were kind of like, um, they're kind of like a 12-year-old making comics basically. Um, and I guess I kind of stopped because I wanted to kind of grow up and see what direction I wanted to go into. And after that, got into activism in Portland. Got into homeless activism. That was around the time Occupy Wall Street happened. Then I went to college, University of Oregon, minored in comic studies there. Got to have some really great professors like Ben Saunders and Matt Johnson, particularly. But also a lot of other professors who weren't necessarily in the comics program, but were also very helpful in helping shape me in any kind of way they could. And then graduated in 2021, moved out here to Dallas, Texas, and because of family issues with my mom. So now I'm kind of like trying to find a foothold in being consistent. Now I'm starting to grab more time for myself. So
Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I am 33.
But the reason why I'm curious is because I think anime started getting popular in the United States right after I graduated from high school. Like, I was just a little bit too old for it. I graduated from high school in 1999.
Okay.
So um, I was just a little bit too old for it. And I've never been, I mean, I've read a few that I liked, but I've never been able to get into it completely. Sarah's saying that she tells it how she sees it, and she said the years of experience show. Sarah said, growing up, I had a lot of friends in their 40s with me who are huge into manga and anime. A lot more than myself, but I've read it enough to see professionalism.
Well, when I meant growing up, I didn't mean I was growing up like growing out of making comics. I meant growing up as in I wanted to take my work into a more mature direction. When I was in high school, I started to think about a lot more other things. So that's what I meant by growing up. I didn't mean growing up like growing out of making comics. I meant growing up like, um, am I gonna start having characters do violent things? Like in this one, like Ninja Fox, he's a trained assassin. It's more cartoonish violence is what I was drawing in middle school, and then things kind of like I wanted to kind of grow up in the stories I was making, so I kind of just had like a developmental period, I should say, just to clarify.
Yeah,
But
Sarah is saying that the late '90s was kind of when manga kind of started to take over, and
yeah,
now it feels like it's completely conquered the United
mhm,
States.
it happens.
Yeah, that's all anybody reads anymore.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'm not bitter.
I mean, I love comics. I would say like growing up, I read a lot of manga and played a lot of video games, but I love anything that's got a good story in it. Honestly, not really too picky about like like what I like, I guess. Um, I knew a lot of friends growing up who were definitely big comic fans though, and I'm a big Batman fan myself.
Yeah, you kind of grew up in, during the time when things were kind of transitioning from being American comics being popular to the Japanese comic books becoming more popular. So it makes sense that you would have one foot in each style.
Excuse me, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Um, yeah, so yeah, like you said, you have a very ambitious uh, story here. Um, um, and you said you tried doing a Kickstarter and that what didn't go real well.
Yeah.
Have you thought at all or tried webtoons at all?
I thought about that. The thing is I don't really know if like that's where I want it to go. I still like I like the idea of having like a print copy to just be able to sell to people and kind of building up kind of a library of like my work, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I like the whole uh what's the word I would use? I like the whole like phenomenon of digital comics. I think it's really convenient for a lot of people, but like I I guess I would have to sell digital copies if I want to, be more kind of be more out there for people to have more options to buy my stuff
I mean,
once if it gets to that point. But
I'm not necessarily advocating for webtoons. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really care for the fact that they, people can just go on there and read all these comic books for free, but uh, I mean, I don't know. Some people have used it and gotten a following that way.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
I did want to mention Carl is saying that he's going to bed. He had a rough week. I'm sorry to hear that. I did not know that you had a rough week, Carl, but thank you for tuning in for at least some of the show. Sarah is saying the direction that you took it with was a great decision. Okay, so it looks like you've got a new fan.
Yay.
And
Awesome.
Sarah says a lot of the titles are about a sentence long. Have you noticed that? I'm a big Batman Gotham fan as well. I like dark gritty feel here. Okay. Um, yeah. So is Batman your favorite current comic book?
American, yeah. American, yeah. I'd say if I had to pick a favorite manga for now, it probably would be Death Note.
So Sarah is saying. Oh, sorry. Were you
Oh, go
finished?
ahead. Yeah,
Sarah is saying that getting your name out there is good, but yeah, I would have teasers free, but not the entire book.
yeah. That's kind of been like my strategy has been. Um, but like right now, I just want to get the first volume done and then think about like how I'm gonna get my name out and all that later. Because like I'm pretty hell bent on getting the whole thing done. Like I don't even care if I don't sell a single copy. I mean, I've had this story cooking in my head for over 20 years now. Um, Especially a lot of good parts that cooked when I was in high school about 15 years ago. So, I mean, my focus is just getting my vision finished, and I can do all the other stuff
You can promote it afterwards.
later. I mean, that's important too, but I mean that's making my vision finished. Huh?
I, I,
I
I
didn't hear you. Sorry, what did you say?
I just said you can promote it later. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea to maybe start working a little bit on your social media, trying to, um, get your name out there now.
Mm.
But I don't know. It sounds like you're very like you have tunnel vision, like you know what I mean. Like you're very single-minded, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
I think so. On this project, yeah.
And so, what target audience would you say your comic book is good for?
It would probably be young adult because of all the violence and all the swearing.
Yeah, I was
Probably
just
be
looking through this. Like some, like it, parts of it seem kind of more cute, and then there are other parts of it that are like, oh wow, this is pretty violent actually.
yeah, it is.
Did
Yeah,
you did you make it like that on purpose? Like you like the contrast?
I like the contrast. Yeah. I decided while I was doing this that because originally my idea was I was gonna have comics and illustrations in like a volume of like but then when I decided I was wanting to focus on um I wanted to focus on storytelling and not just have a bunch of illustrations and stuff. So I had a compromise with myself, and it was that every chapter would have its own kind of cover illustration to it. And
Right.
sometimes for my chapters, it's like maybe I'll pick um, a cute scene to pay homage to, and sometimes I'll just do something random. But yeah, it's
Yeah, it seems like it's coming along. I mean, you got a lot of the comic book online already.
But yeah, getting like I have a Twitter and I have an Instagram, but like being, I guess, active on social media is kind of, I guess I could, it's kind of hard. Like I know how to just like post, but like I'm still trying to figure that part out. I guess I'll probably do a crash course on like figuring it out when I get the time when I'm finished. Um,
So Sarah is saying uh, uh, Stanley's wife told him create what you want to read. Yeah, I think that that's good advice, right?
yeah, yeah, kind of what I do.
So Sarah is saying that the comic book kind of reminds her of Happy Tree Friends. Have you seen any of that?
Haven't seen Happy Tree Friends, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, Happy Tree Friends is kind of like Looney Tunes, but or like a Tom and Jerry cartoon, but you actually see like the blood and guts in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's Popo right there. Okay, he is in this. Yeah, he's right at the end. It's kind of a cameo thing, so play a role in that story particularly.
Cool. Okay, so you do have Popo and what is it, Bob, Baba,
Bobo
Boba,
and Popo.
Bobo and Popo. Okay.
I thought of their names because they were originally, well, one of them is still alliterative, the other one's not. But when I first made the comic when I was in middle school, Bobo's a bunny, so Bobo Bunny, that was alliterative. But then Popo was originally a porcupine, but then I kind of changed him to want to be a hamster. But the P kind of stuck to it, like the name just kind of fit and it rhymed. So, but I've had it get miscalled all the time. I'm just kind of used to it.
Yeah. So Sarah's giving you some advice on how to build up a social media presence. She said, just start posting some things and become Facebook friends with other creators. See how they were doing things as well. That's a good foothold to getting your work out there. Yeah, I think that that's good advice. I mean, I know you said that you wanted to focus on creating the comic book, but I mean, sooner or later you're gonna have to. Um, if you want anybody to read your comic book, you're gonna have to start building an online presence, which I know
Yeah,
can be intimidating. It was definitely intimidating for me, but
I'd say I definitely tried to build an online presence, but like the problem that I was having at the time in the last couple of years was just how slow things were moving on my other tablet. It was like a really 6-year old tablet. So it's like I would be able to like talk about, this chapter coming out and kind of promote it. And I would get like some good views sometimes on my Twitter. But uh like the pacing was so slow that the whole thing was just like not working out at the time. So definitely I'll now things are moving on faster. I'm probably gonna try to regroup on the social media side of things. Um, I have a lot of friends on Twitter who will like share stuff and a lot of groups, but I'll just have to like start all over again on that front.
well, I'm glad it seems like the comic book is coming along. I mean, do you have like a process for which you for working on it, or do you work on it every day? Do you work on it on weekends? I don't
I
know.
work on it every day. When I'm at work, I'll take like whenever I'm on my break or my lunch, I'll work on it, and then sometimes I'll work on it while I'm at home. And on the weekend too. All the scripts are already have been done for a while. and they've all been storyboarded. So now it's just drawing it in the program, and things move so much better on my iPad. I mean, so like my old tablet, it was getting to the point where like half the screen was starting to pop out. So then like it would still be able to tell that I was drawing on it, but like it wasn't like a flat surface anymore to draw on. So it was just this mess that I had to deal with before I got the new tablet. So now that things are moving faster, I'm probably going to be able to figure things out a lot better in the coming weeks and months. But
So Sarah's saying you can start with one person, and from there you can get into various circles for networking. It's not good to have limited thinking. You never know what's going to catch on. Just a bit of info from a ton of observation of what I was learning through the pandemic. All the inner workings, pitches, etc. Watching people grow like that was amazing.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I think that that's good advice, Sarah. Um, so I was thinking, maybe we could have you back on when, uh, maybe when you finish more
yeah,
of this, and especially if you have some type of crowd funding.
yeah,
You like that idea?
yeah. That makes sense.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Zach. It sounds like you made some fans tonight.
Yeah, thank you for letting me come on your show. I guess I was nervous at first because like never been like on a live stream before, but like it's been pretty relaxed and got a good community. It's very friendly people and you seem very chill. So I want to thank you very much for the opportunity. It definitely helps break the ice because I'm gonna have to talk about this a lot more than I have been. So it's good to finally just jump out and then
Exactly.
I should just cannonball. I mean, one day, like I've been so busy because I guess I have a full time job, I have like a part time gig for extra money, and I kind of want to build up some savings so I can make print copies. And but like one day when like I have the time, like I'm just gonna cannonball right back into things and just see where I go from there. So
Yeah. So Sarah made a good point that this is a good start, and you're starting your network here.
yay!
And
Thank
Dan
you,
is saying no need to be nervous. And Trey thinks that you had a good live experience. So
thank you,
seems like everything went well.
thank
Uh,
you, everybody.
and I think that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you also to Alan, who was here earlier. And thank you, everybody. Oh, look who's coming up to see me, my cat.
Oh, hi, kitty cat. I have my cat here too. I don't know if I could. There she is. Is that?
Ah,
No,
I
that's my
see her.
backpack. There she is. She's
This is my
sleeping.
cat. His name is Stitch.
Oh, it's cute. My cat's name is Onyx.
Well, that's one thing that everybody, I think, likes. Everybody likes cats.
Yeah.
Sarah's saying so many people in this network of fellow creatives here, then offshooting and meeting people through those people. Exactly. And Dan said that my fans are usually very kind people. I think that's true. And Sarah is saying that every expert started as a novice.
Yeah.
And Trey is saying the cat tax.
Hmm.
Okay, so thank you so
I
much for
guess I have one thing I could I share my Instagram in the private chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I should still have the link to it. Um, let's see. Let's see. Over here. There we go. And that should be it.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Uh,
do this first part. I think if I post that, that'll work. Let me check and make sure that works. Okay, yeah, that works. So I'm gonna put that in the comments. So Sarah is saying that I should put that scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, that's not bad advice there. Maybe next week I'll try to figure that out. But we have Foxboy Comics, the Instagram page is right here. I just went there. He's got a lot of cool stuff. Please, everybody, go follow him. Make him feel loved.
Oh,
And I think that'll be it for this week. Thank you so
yeah.
much, Zach. And thank you, everybody who watched.
Thank you, everybody. I'll see you again.
We'll be back next week and our guest will be Carissa Grant. So that's something to look forward to. One more comment from Sarah. She's saying that she's talking about the scrolling thing at the bottom. She thinks that should be from the very beginning of the show, and I think she's probably right. But that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, Zach. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Good night, guys.